All right, welcome in, Pisces. How are you? Welcome to you. I am doing your reading on the equinox. This is the first day of Aries season, and I would have gotten to you a little bit quicker if I hadn't been sick, so my apologies to you. However, I just really feel that it's really important for you to understand that this is a long term process that you might be undergoing right now that started at least a year ago, maybe longer than that, and it's really redefining your personality. So this time is going to be incredibly powerful, and let's see if I can say to you how I feel about this. There's this long running developmental program that's happening for you. And there's events that are going to be happening in the next 2 weeks that will solidify that direction. All right, so let's see where we're going here for Pisces. Very powerful. You already know the North Node is in your sign. Saturn is in your sign. Neptune is in your sign, all at the very end of March, or at the very end of Pisces, which is a super powerful degree. The 29th degree of Pisces is known as the anaretic degree. It is the final degree of the entire zodiac. And so it basically calls out a major karmic event. We have Venus transiting back into your sign. Mercury's in retrograde coming back into your sign. All of those planets and points are going to be activated by each other. When the planets and points talk to each other, that's when we get a lot of action. You're about to experience that. So underneath is relief. I like that. Relief. Oh, look at this. Karmic path. Just exactly what I was just saying. Karmic path, shadow, and wow. Past life coming up. So you know, well, maybe you don't know, so I'm going to say this to you. As a Pisces, you have a direct connection to karmic events, past life events, more than the other signs, because your sign rules the 12th house. And the 12th house is the sign of our karmic connections, or is the house of our karmic connections. It also indicates strong spiritual connection. It's almost like with great power comes great responsibility. So, yeah, you have more connection to spirit, but yeah, you might have more karmic flotsam and jetsam to clear right now. Dross. Lots of things that have been coming up over the past few years. Okay, because Neptune has been in your sign for 14 years. Moves pretty slowly. Saturn's been there for a year and a half or so. And Saturn is really gearing up for some epic connection with Neptune next year in the very beginning of Aries. So what I said about the end of Pisces, that karmic 29 degrees where Neptune and Saturn and everybody is right now, next year there's going to be a time when Saturn and Neptune meet at 0 degrees Aries, the Aries point. Also a karmic, but it's a karmic beginning, not an ending. The karmic experience that's happening right now is an ending. So there's closing up of chapters. There's closing up of karmic path, past life karmic path, that is a lot of your shadow may be coming up right now. That's why. Because it's time to close out these habits, these people, these directions that have run their course. All right, run their course. Lovers, the 4 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Wands. So here we are again, closing things up with that World card. And some of you are definitely closing up with family or with a marriage. Some of you are closing up long-term patterns around money, especially because I do feel like a lot of you have been working to manifest peace, a long-term peaceful financial existence, but there's shadow, there's lack mentality. You will never have peaceful financial life when you're always in FOMO, or you're always second guessing yourself, or you're always feeling like you're not getting what you're trying to get, or you're missing out, or you're not getting what you should be getting, or you're having this reaction to somebody else getting a promotion, or whatever it is. There's definitely some long-term financial chapter that needs your attention. And I'm going to say this to you because the Piscean energy 12th house experience is about something you do alone. So yes, there's patterns with family. Yes, there's patterns with other people. But at the end of the day, it's you that need to clear the pattern from you. Not, it's this person that's having this impact on me. If you did not have the matching puzzle piece, there would be no drama. If you felt satisfied, then why would you care if someone else got a promotion? If you felt like you were on the path to expanding your financial security or stability, then why would all of a sudden you like scuttle the plan and go in a different direction? Because, okay, maybe that's not it. I can't commit to this because what if it's something else? So there's something there for you. And I feel like this is a time of it's your choice to choose. You're choosing the direction. You're the quarterback of the team. You're calling the play. You're choosing the direction. If you're waiting for the universe to tell you what to do, that's backwards. And it's about taking responsibility, having accountability for that direction. I want love in my life, but I keep trying to get love from people who can't love. I'm choosing love. I'm going to choose to have people in my life who can do it. So it's not like, okay, I want love in my life, but only from that person. Because what if that's not their path? It's time to choose the experience that you want to have. And I want to have the experience of having unlimited abundance in my life. Okay. The universe then will move things around in order for you to find the breadcrumbs. Take those breadcrumbs. Okay, this is the direction. All right, the synchronicity is pointing the way. There's definitely some past life obstructions. And it's some things that you don't know why you do. Like, why do I do this? Why do I always blow things up right when we're just about to get to the good part? Why do I get frightened? Why do I attract people in who can't love? Why? So I feel like Spirit is saying, you got to clear that right now because you've got bigger fish to fry here. And we can't be messing around with this anymore. You've got to take the bull by the horns. You've got to take some kind of responsibility for that and say, okay, this is mine to clear. Not just like, oh, I'm attracting all these crazy people and, I have no control over it. You do. You do. So that's what's being activated right now is for you to say, yeah, all right, I want love in my life and I am going to attract people who can be in that experience with me. And let those other people go who can't. That thing about like, well, this person, it's not that great, but I think they're my twin flame, so I'm just going to hang on and get dragged. No. Ironically, that's what heals the twin flame connection. Is if you say, I'm not going to get dragged anymore. You're showing up as justice. So this is really a balancing time for Pisces. Situation is the Knight of Wands. Yeah, so I'm keying into something about people who can't commit. Maybe a Sag, maybe a Libra. I see Gemini here too. Opportunity is the 6 of Pentacles. This is kind of saying, I almost feel like some of you are trying to put the responsibility on the other person for the commitment, and then you being like, well, it's not my fault. This person won't commit. I feel like the universe is saying, I feel like you need to expand your horizons and meet other people. Okay. That's definitely, and also get help with this because it's out of balance for you, that there's a person who keeps showing up in your life who causes drama and stirs up all of this past life stuff. It's time to take ownership of it and say, this is my stuff to heal. And then have boundaries with people who can't deal with that. What's Spirit saying to you? The Empress. This is a divine feminine energy of receiving love. There's a good book. I've recommended it to you guys before, and it's called, what is it called? Mr. Unavailable and the Fallback Girl. So if that's aligning with your problem here, because I feel like some of you want to marry somebody who's just not capable of that kind of commitment. But you think if this person marries me, that will prove that I am amazing. You're already amazing. It doesn't need to come from someone committing or not committing. That has nothing to do with whether you're amazing or not. If this person won't commit to you, it's a them problem, not a you problem. That's just it. Like, they're not seeing it. It doesn't mean it's not there. Right? They're missing it. They're not doing it. And you're like, yeah, I know. So I'm just going to stand here until you freaking figure it out. No. Your job is to say, you know what? I value me and my time. Okay? That's what the Empress does. The Sun card, the near future is the 9 of Swords. We'll talk about that in a minute. 6 of Wands. There's the Death card. King of Pentacles. Look at that. 2 of Wands. And the outcome is the 10 of Wands. So, okay. I feel like there's something about commitment. I keep getting the energy of commitment here. There's a lot of shadow. Now, this could be a mother or a father wound. I've talked about this in a few of the readings. And the father wound about being an uncommitted person or being someone who was never really there for you. Now you're like, I feel that same familiar energy with this person who I want to commit. And I'm going to get a different result this time than I had with my parent. So I'm going to try and heal that by trying to make someone into a person who would commit. The job here actually is you changing. You making a decision to change. That's why you're showing up as the Death card. It's like, no more. Not no more, he's not. He's not, he or she, the uncommittable one. The one who doesn't do that shtick. And you think you can change them and that will prove your worth. You're already, when you change, and there's something about money here too, because the King of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles, and Pentacles doesn't have to be about money. It can be about longevity. That's why when I do astrology readings for people, I like to look at their Saturn, especially when we're talking about a relationship with another person, because it shows the lessons, but it also shows the possibility of longevity in someone's life. Now, someone could be in your life. I almost feel like this person who can't commit maybe has either been in your life for a long time, or this pattern has shown up for a really long time in the guise of different people. I am getting a lot of, all right, I'm going to choose this. I'm going to choose people who have the ability to have longevity. And again, I'm getting another layer of this lesson that says, what really is commitment? Am I the one with commitment issues? What really is commitment to me? That someone, so for example, let's say, because this is about you gleaning a lot of wisdom from this experience. Let's say you're like, okay, this Knight of Wands is incapable of commitment. So I'm going to choose somebody like this King of Pentacles. And that's like a Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo person, someone who is stable and solid. And then there's this sense, all these other things start coming up. Okay, so it's like, it's not the same issues that you have with this. Like maybe we work on that. Maybe that's, you're working through this unavailable, Mr. Unavailable. But then you choose someone that has a different side of that same shadow. So if you're looking at someone just through the lens of commitment, you commit and you don't. Okay, I'm going to choose the person that commits. Now, what's the new soup we're in? Because I feel like this is just like going from the frying pan into the fire. That I'm going to choose someone who looks stable and solid. But here's the thing. There's something about an inequity in the connection. There's something about another part of the shadow gets activated because you've decided that the lack of commitment looks like this, the Knight of Wands. Someone who can't commit to getting married, someone who is maybe has been a cheater in their life, something like that. This person is not that, but they got a different kind of cheating, or they've got a different kind of not committing. So maybe they're like, you can't, I want you to, this is definitely a pattern of someone who's very narcissistic, that narcissists do not marry for companionship and balance. They marry for someone to be their cook, their caretaker, their mommy, their, all of that. And so you're just into a different kind of lack of commitment. So I want you to be very specific about the kind of commitment you want so that you're not the one that's doing everything. And they're the ones that, there's something here also about the lack, internal lack that says, oh, it would be great to be married to someone who is really wealthy. But then what happens if they make me beg for an allowance or something like that? So it's just a different kind of problem because we haven't really healed the underlying karmic issue, which is this father wound or this mother wound. And that's what's really being asked of you right now. So you're showing up as this Libra energy of balance. All of that stuff that I was just telling you about the planets being kind of jammed up at the end of Pisces, that's really hitting your identity. The first house is who you are. And so all of these things, Neptune is like, I don't really see myself that clearly. Saturn is about my lessons. The problem is I'm not really seeing who I am in any of these relationships or in my life in general very clearly. Not really seeing that. And all of those planets, like I said, in points are going to move into the second house, which is the house of you making money. Aries. There's something here about you having to marry you. It's not going to come from another person. It's got to be you. And you creating value in your own life, you creating the kind of life you want, and then inviting in a partner who is balanced in that way. Okay, what is this Nine of Swords about? Three of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. All right, that's beautiful. So I see you having a bunch of these different kinds of manifestations of the same issue, although you might not know that it's the same issue. It's all part of this karmic past life, ancestral lineage of what commitment means to me, what love means to me, and all that. It's like you got to go right down to the very core of what does it mean to be in a relationship with another person? What does it look like? What do I want? So what is my love language? What's my experience with love? What is this money thing in terms of how it interacts with marriage or doesn't? What is this commitment thing that I have going on? What's my mother wound? What's my father wound? This is big stuff. And it's big stuff. What's going on back here? It's big stuff because it is your karmic path that's all coming up right now for your attention and healing. It's a big month. All right, so I'm going to talk more about the end of March into the next part of the reading. If this is your reading, I will look at what we don't see coming. We'll look at the next 30 days and we'll see how this plays out. Got a lot of options here, but let's clear first. All right. Link is below, Pisces, if you want to continue on. I'll see you over there.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.